Hello and welcome to the Main Protagonist podcast. My name is Casper and this is my trusted advisor, Pettry, and I will not hear any allegations that he is a villain and or scheming behind my back.
Of course not.
No.
Why would I do that?
Now what was that about rearranging the kingdom's finances again?
Tax evasion is cool, yo.
I agree.
Even when you're the monarch, tax evasion is cool.
I am evading myself.
I'm evading the taxes I'm being owed.
How are you doing, man?
Oh, God. That's a heavy question.
That's... Okay, off to a good start. Let's start a therapy session.
Oh, no, man. I have not been medicated for a week, and I've been medicated for just 1 day, so...
Correction, not therapy, drug rehabilitation.
So my teeth have been kicked out by my medication, not in a literal sense, but I'm woozy as shit. And, well, we could have waited a little bit longer to record, but this isn't going to get better until, like, 2 p.m.
Oh, so maybe you're just in time for the Side Character podcast. I tripped over my words.
Perhaps.
Mayhaps
even.
So, I could tell all about the shit that happened to me in the past 2 weeks. But can I instead tell you a somewhat funny but not related anime story?
I mean, you sure can.
So, just the other day, Sunday actually, there was an event that I went to, at an expo.
Yes.
It was the Rodent Expo in Houten. Specifically the Rodent Expo. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yes, it was for all kinds of pets, and my sister had gone there before. It's where she got fascinated with ferrets.
Okay.
And she was so hyped for this, and hyping it up, like, oh, there's so many cute animals, and gonna buy some toys for them, and it's really amazing. You're gonna see so many interesting things.
Can I just say that I'm hearing my first expo starter kit here? Getting hyped for something and getting wholly underwhelmed by it.
It wasn't so much underwhelmed as completely having your expectations upended. But we get there, and we soon learn that this is a special edition of the Rodent Expo, which doesn't have rodents.
You had one job.
This was the Rodent Expo for exotic animals. So they had snakes, they had spiders, scorpions.
So rodent eating expo.
Yes, it was all these scary animals, including like centipedes that are so large they look like horror movie props. It was
so rodent eating expo. Yeah, clearly
it was fucking crazy. And we weren't the only ones that made that mistake. Apparently, well. Mistake. It was the mistake of whoever called it the Rodent Expo.
I suppose so.
Because there were a lot of crying children.
Oh, this would have been hell for me.
And I think I can guesstimate as to why the children were crying. Because right as you enter, like one of the first booths is this giant freezer that's open with plastic sealed corpses of hamsters and caviars and...
Guinea pigs. Yeah. Let me help you there.
Caviars is the Dutch word. But
also every other word except English.
But yeah, just a lot of frozen corpses.
Yay, cadavers.
Yeah, that was special.
Yeah,
and it's more fun to talk about than all the other shit I've been dealing with, so let's keep it at that.
Well, I've been planning some things primarily. I'm going to Dordrecht, probably Rotterdam, at some point with Danny next week. Just looking around because goddamn the pandemic has hampered one thing, and it's just going out and looking around for stuff. Everything is closed or you can't enter stores, and now that's kind of lifted, so we're going to make the best of it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to Utrecht and Amsterdam tomorrow.
Nice. And let's see. Well, I had my birthday. I've been told I'm an older man now. I feel even older. I've been told that I'm 28. I feel physically like I'm 80. Everything's rickety and crackling, but birthday was fun.
Well, it helps that you drink old man alcohol.
For people that don't get that, I'm distinctly drinking old man alcohol in the sense that it's a pure Dutch drink and only old Dutch people drink it. So, I've grown old very fast. Yay. I wish I could live out retirement.
It's still such an immature man.
Immature, perhaps. No, other than that, I have been under the spell of not medication, which was annoying because I kind of had a thing going. And I'm autistic, so when the thing rolls, it rolls well, and then it stops rolling, and then it's a wall. Now I have to crawl over the wall again. My... fuck, what's the word? My local medicine dispensary.
Apothecary?
No, that's not the word. No.
I forgot the word too.
Yes.
Fuck you, now I forgot.
They were like, yeah, we have this medicine. Lol, no, it's tailor-made. Fuck you, our fabrication lab is also on vacation. Oh, when do you have it? Perhaps next week. Perhaps. Well, this is inspiring. So, yeah, I'm going to check after the podcast if they have my medication, yes or no.
Oh, okay, and then we can maybe pick it up while we're...
I'll probably not pick it up. I'm just going to put in the order so they can actually make it.
Oh, they wouldn't even put in the order
No.
for when the guys get back. Fucking bureaucrats.
Yes, it definitely is. Other than that, I've been dandy by my standards.
Besides all the horror that has been inflicted upon me, I am fine. That's a quote. All right. So, in your undrugged haze, have you been able to watch any anime?
Well, actually, I got some stuff done for a change.
Oh my!
I actually got through 3 shows.
Oh, 3, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Carry on.
I watched High School DxD, and now hold on. Wait. Give me a second to explain before I get lynched. It was the English dub, and it's an absolute fucking hoot. It's not ghost stories, but it's a hoot. As in, it's R-rated. As in, they only dubbed the R-rated version of High School DxD. So they didn't give a shit about what they said in the dub.
Okay.
So
it's a little more brutal.
Well, to just quote one line of this beautiful, beautiful show. Hey, Issei, I'm told to pick you up, but I really don't want to take you. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to take your pimp juice.
Okay.
Just the lines are beautiful. Also, the ED, as in the ending theme from the first season, is just Witchcraft Works ending.
You mentioned this, yeah.
That was pretty fucking nice. But yeah, it's under this illusion. I really like how it's just straight up hentai and it's just like, no. We have this beautiful facade of everything being related back to chess. Chests, I would say, but not chess, but whatever.
Yeah, because High School DxD is kind of like the standard.
Whoa. Your hobby's creeped in there. DX. The X is important. You said DMD.
Oh, did I? I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? DxD.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the iconic, etchy kind of series, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like the amount of art you see, stickers.
Yeah.
Like if you see a car with hentai stickers on it, it's probably of the redhead girl from DxD.
Yeah, Ria's Grammary. Yeah, I say I enjoy it, but it's more because of the dub and the actual absolute abandon of the plot that I have. Because after only a few episodes, I'm already like, this is too dumb to actually take serious in any capacity. So I just enjoyed what I watched. The main character, freshly for a change, is actually a full-hearted the ecchi lord, as in ECCHI, and he embraces it thoroughly. As in the second season, he wins because one of his enemy has the opposite power of him, which is to divide power instead of multiplying it. And one of the dudes just tells him, but if he can halve power, he can also halve her breast size. And he just goes fucking mental. No, not my tits. I need their tits to be big. Okay. And he goes on.
So it's very shameless.
It's very shameless. I just want to say, just as a the series has one nice word it uses often, because he has a sacred gear that doubles his power, and every time it happens, he says, "Boost! Boost!" And in the final bit of season 2, he just, cranks that out like 20 times in once, or 20 times in like 4 seconds. So I just want to show you that after the podcast, because it's absolutely fucking hilarious. You don't need any context.
That's a vow.
You don't need any context. By season 2, they entirely dropped the chess thing, and then in the last episode, they were like, no, this is still important, we swear. So yeah, I've watched 2 seasons of that stuff.
All right. In the same vein, I have been watching Interspecies Reviewers. in the same vein, meaning ostensibly a TV show, basically just hentai.
Yes. Just the difference here: High School DxD isn't on HAnime.tv.
Yet.
Well, I think that time is gone.
But yeah, I got interested in it, firstly because I needed something more for Romance Month, and because I believe both you and Rolf have it at the lowest possible scores for your respective lists.
Yes. I mean, it's pretty trash.
It is indulgent, but it's well made.
Well made.
The animation is nice. The character designs are cool.
I mean, it's a facade. It's literally a facade. They went to the board and they were like, "Yo, can we have like an animation budget for this thing?" And they were like, "Sure, okay, now we can make a shameless hentai with slightly more budget than usual."
Yeah, and that works. That works for me, at least.
I mean, yeah, but it's just, look, we're going to judge meat.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's definitely the one thing you need to get over. Can you kind of abandon concerns of the morality of what they're doing?
Well, it's not even the morality, it's just not interesting, to me at least.
I think it's well thought through enough. I biased, right? Because
fantasy.
Fantasy and writing reviews. Literally me.
Also being drunk and being asinine.
Absolutely. But the way they present how they review it is interesting. They often put the actual reviews over the erotic scenes, or have these fun little sketches to make it a little more lively. And the commentary feels thought through. It's like they actually put some thought into, like, okay, what would these hypothetical fantasy races be like?
And who produced this disaster?
I don't remember.
Well, for DxD it's TNK, and that's up till...
I believe it was Pashon?
No. I think that's the last season. I'm pretty sure that's the last season. TNK is the first 3 seasons, and the last season is Pashon, I think.
No, I mean, Species Reviewers.
No, I know, but I think DxD too. It's made by a bubbly animation company, because 4th season absolutely looks horrendous. And I have a general distaste for Passione animation. I really like Shaman King. They did my boy dirty with Passione.
Yeah.
Especially making...
That's not a studio I would have recommended for Shaman King.
For a shonen action anime that's longer than 1 season. Unfortunate. And with Rolf, I have watched So I'm a Spider, So What? How am I gonna say this nicely?
What should I imagine for that?
Okay, let me set the scene.
It's a light novel, isn't it?
It's based on a
light novel, isn't it?
It's based on a light novel. Brian really likes it, of course. You know what the issue is? It's funded by Crunchyroll.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Not off to the worst start there. That could be nice.
Crunchyroll funds a lot of things.
They settled on Studio Milipense.
Oh
no!
That's interesting.
Just as a heads up, that's the same studio that made the Berserk remake. And not like the movies, like the TV show from 2016. And it shows. The first 4 episodes were just, a lot of CG and a lot of manic rambling. Nothing really happens. The spider gets reincarnated and she just defeats some...
Okay, so it's like an isekai.
Yeah. It's definitely...
Of course, it's Brian.
Well, that too. But I have to say, the story as it's being presented is actually kind of clever. But I'm gonna get to that. The first few episodes are just very manic in the sense that she's just defeating monsters and leveling up. But none of these monsters have any background, have any significance to the plot. So it's just 4 episodes of her watching her talk to herself. Kind of world building, but not really, because you only see the labyrinth she's in, the cave.
Okay, yeah.
So there's no change of scenery. There's just ugly CG monsters that she's beating up.
As a spider.
So yeah, that is very unfortunate. But and I'm totally going to spoil the things here.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so for people that actually care for So I'm a Spider and you're literally a retarded toddler that can't pay attention to the screen, the entire plot is actually broken up, as in you follow multiple characters, but there's actually a time rift in between. Since they don't interact with each other, they are totally separated by time.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the anime, when they actually show it, there's been hints all around. So you can definitely find out in like 4 or 5 episodes, I think. You can see that these characters have been living there for 16 years, and you only see the first few days/months of the spider. And then it is like, but wait, she has been here for 16 years too, and you've just been seeing this part of her life. And that kind of just unravels from there.
Okay.
It's not really a surprise twist, because it's been hinted like crazy in the entire show, but it's actually a refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, the way you put it, I'm thinking like, oh, that's interesting. You could do a lot with that.
Yes, it's the good part about it. It's just veiled enough that you're not instantly like, yeah, this is totally what's happening. You kind of have to pay attention, in the same sense that Erased.
Like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Erased did that with the teacher. So I like that. The only issue, it's not an issue. I think it's just Battle Rock and Ayusha, the Brave of the Six Flowers.
Yeah, that you went on a tangent about in
Yes.
a few podcasts ago.
Yeah, because it's just doing the mystery part, but that's not the main part of the story. It's still trying to build a world, have religions in it, have people in it, have creatures in it, building fantasy around it, and not just having this mystery as its main plot point.
Okay, because when you mentioned it the other day, I thought you didn't like it.
I mean, the animation it gets worse. I didn't know it could get worse. In the last few episodes, it's just laughably bad at some points. Because they obviously, when it's not CG and they're doing a fight scene, it's horrific. And just to make a point of how rushed the animation must have been, she gets her head cut off because, well, it's a spider. It doesn't really matter at that point anymore in the story. And then you have just all these B-frames of her getting pummeled around, and you just see her with a head. And all her legs, well, 2 of her legs were cut off. And it just really reeks of, oh shit, we have to rush this out the door right fucking now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of little tiny animation mistakes that just really tally up, and you can really notice them.
Probably just told an intern to animate some scenes
Yeah.
fucking kicked her out without specifying that limb dismembered and beheaded.
Yeah, precisely. So that's a bit unfortunate. Still, the show is fine. I think it's an enjoyable show to watch. I would still recommend it to people.
Yeah, because to contrast that, because you mentioned this before, but somebody once asked on the podcast why you didn't like fantasy, and you explained that you like fantasy as long as it's well explained.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the disconnect between why you like spider anime enough compared to in-speech reviewers, because in-speech reviewers doesn't really care about the world.
No, definitely not.
Not at all. It's just a basic template fantasy world, basically building off of the Monsterkill encyclopedia.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. So I'm a spider, so what? Also, that's a mouthful of a title, especially.
Yeah,
I mean,
why-
it's a light novel title.
That's why I just started calling it spider anime, because I forgot the
Yeah,
title already.
Gumo Deska is, I think, the shortened version. I think it's still a fine anime because it actually builds up to something, and it actually has some hooks instead of just this one-track plot that just the cart follows, and you're just like, yeah, I know exactly where this is going. At least this throws in some. And I just like in one of the early parts, one of the characters dies, and one of them just instantly knows because he gets bestowed with the title of hero. And there can only be one hero in the world. So he's just in class like, la da 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 da. Oh God, no! And everyone in class is like, how are you doing? No! Oh, Mo, yes, having a mental breakdown. Why? I'm the hero. Oh. And then just everybody just kind of settles in like, shit, that's no good.
Something completely unrelated to fantasy. I have also literally last night finished Lucky Star. He breaks out into lava.
Yes, wait, but I just want to add, because I've just written some stupid things about some anime. I just want to add to that, according to some Spider, only poor people can have liver cancer.
What? Why? Why?
A mother with her sick child just comes in, and Spider's like, they must be poor. He has liver cancer. That's pretty much the literal line that she utters. I just laughed my ass off. Did I have anything else that I wanted to add to that? No, that was the most important part. Only poor people can have liver cancer.
Well, that's one thing I'm safe from then.
Oof. Well, you're drinking enough for it. Sorry, go on. Lucky Star, you unfortunate soul.
Yeah. Lucky Star is actually a show that I found through you. Because I believe at one point...
Fuck, what did I do?
Because at one point we were both fans of Azuma and Kadayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you were like, hey, have you ever seen Nichio? And then we watched Nichio together. And then
Which is lovely.
Yeah, which is amazing. Fucking love Nichio. And then it was like, hey, there's also Lucky Star. And we watched one episode of that and we stopped.
Well, I already knew I fucking hated it because I've watched one episode previous to that. Yeah. And it's just the first joke instantly turned me off. Mm-hmm. How do you eat your chocolate croissant? Do you eat it chocolate side up or chocolate side down? And they have this argument for 5 minutes of how to eat a fucking chocolate croissant. And I was just, no, I ate that.
And now I came back to it because because the moderator for any list was talking about we are going to have the most complete credits for Lucky Star of any website in the world.
Why?
I don't know, but that kind of drove me to try it again, and I watched all of it. That was a waste of my time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does not exactly get any better. It is a very banal anime. What the fuck am I hearing, by the way?
Somebody is either driving through a wall or it's a boat honking. At this point, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched it too. It's absolutely fucking horrific.
Yeah, it is very
Dated.
deliberately banal, and it's very
dated.
Yeah, it's very proud of its referential humor. It just cannot stop making references to shit that don't matter anymore, really.
Yeah, it's the how do we say this? Very meta humor of its time, and it's only its time. So if you don't have any experience with any anime from that time, you're going to hate it.
Oh, it's also kind of obsessed with retro anime.
Yeah, that's what it's almost 15 years old at this point. Everything that in that anime is retro anime by now, and it's just. I understand the hustle that went into it. It had a lot of work done and it's very nicely made, but it's just nothing will click with almost anybody. And
well, I mean, Haruhi is still relevant, and it's absolutely.
Is it though relevant?
It is remembered well enough.
I mean, remembered, yeah, but relevant would mean that new people are still really getting into that stuff.
Oh, it was a big celebration when the new light novel came out.
Yeah, but for new people or for the existing fan base?
Yeah, for the existing fan base. Yeah.
That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. I mean, if I say to you the Endless Eight, you get fucking nightmare flashbacks at this point, I think.
I'm not too bad about it.
Fair. But if I tell that to Brian is just, I just get a slack-jawed thrown my way. But that's
fair, though. We've also had the disappearance of Nakoto Yuki-chan.
Yeah, let's not get too much off track with Haruhi, though. No, Lucky Star. The only thing I remember from Lucky Star is that Konada's mother is dead. Mm-hmm. And that they sing Chala Het Chala in one of the endings.
Mm-hmm. Well, they screech Chala.
Yeah. I don't even know her voice actress anymore, but
Yuki.
Yeah, she can. That's some vulture screaming.
Mm-hmm. And Ayuki is actually an idol.
Yeah.
No, wait, not Ayuki. What? Hirano.
Yeah, Hirano. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Both are idols, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All the same. No.
But it's just very dated and very of its time, and even in its time, it's kind of on the nose and hidden away. Most humor is just kind of flat. You really have to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and even if you know, like, I could be watching that instead. Like, it's so constant about Haruhi. Like, everywhere you see Haruhi characters doing cameos. Everywhere you see their names pop up, posters, art, cosplayers. And like, okay, I get what you're doing. I get that you're really happy that you got Aya Hirano to voice this, and it's made by KyoAni, just like Haruhi. We get it. You really, really like Haruhi.
Yeah,
so please be relevant on your own and not through Haruhi.
The best thing about Lucky Star, in my opinion, is still the music. It's this very hypered up, sugar-coated toddler hyper techno. Well, it's not really techno, it's just really fast talking over a music track. And I actually kind of enjoyed it, but I have this nostalgia for it because I play and still play a lot of Stepmania. And Stepmania was kind of in its highest point at the time that Lucky Star was on TV. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of music packs with Lucky Star music in it. There were a lot of remixes. But on that point, I just want to say that Kamikyo Nika Nika Doga is a more community driven thing than Lucky Star, as in the references and such. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure if you're familiar with Kamikyo Nika Nika Doga.
Only by name.
Okay, yeah, it's this music track compiled of music from at that point relevant anime, and it's this 10-minute homage to all this. And it's been covered by a lot of artists, especially on Nico Nico, which is Japanese YouTube. And they have made covers and made lyrics for all this stuff, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think that's still more significant than Lucky Star in its entirety.
Yeah. Also, if you, like, we're harping on about references here, but I think anime references are actually very viable. If you actually do something useful with them, because if you look at Genshiken is hype as fuck, but it actually tells a story that's relevant there.
Yeah, but that goes back more to the roots of everything that it's making jokes about. As in, they're not just making a joke about Gundam, they're making a joke about building kids in general. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of Gundam fandom is based around the kits you can build for them. And they just go back to the kids and go back to the base idea of a lot of things. Not like just anime, but a genre of something. But anime that does that, I don't want to say better because I don't like it. Now Koei does this a lot. They make a lot of pop references, but they are actually references to things that people remember.
Yeah, like they're actually references that these characters would be making.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually... The comedy actually comes through for the characters there, and they're actually characters. Like, Lucky Star, like 50...
They're a vessel.
60% of the jokes is just normal conversation happens. Konata turns it into an anime discussion, gets lectured on being an otaku. That's basically like most of the comedy in Lucky Star.
Yeah.
And that basically just means that Konata is just a non-character. She's just the anime references machine.
Yeah, the only thing, what was it called? If you want to watch just something that's slice of life and very calm and very wholesome from the same period, I would just say watch Minamike, or however you say that name.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Minamike. That's actually very nice. And then you have Lucky Star, which is just, we're trying to be wholesome with memes, but we're also sugar hyped up with Hirano. Hirano's hyper up sugar show.
A shame.
So moving on, either to games we played or news.
Let's start with the news. Because first of all, we have a whole bunch of anime announcements.
Yeah, the first one is entirely yours because I can't relate to this one bit.
I'm just going to speedrun all of them, actually.
Good.
The one I forgot about. First of all, we have the unveiling of the new cast for the new season of Tokyo Mew Mew, which is the revival of the classic Magical Girl series about environmentalism. We also have season 3 of Spice and Wolf.
Out of nowhere.
Out of fucking nowhere, after years of begging. That's hype for a lot of people.
Yeah, and then the opposite, because that's what I added. Season 2 for Classroom of the Elite.
Yeah, I was wondering why you added that, but book it.
Because I've watched it. I like Classroom of the Elite. It's just... Why? This is just like... It just kind of ended. I never had the idea that it was popular to any degree. And just like 7 years later, out of nowhere, lol, second season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that felt out of place.
Well, and we also have all new anime for Nier Automata and Hulk. And Hulk is not on the schedule because I forgot to add it.
Yeah, you've added it at some point and then forgot. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Hulk, but before we get into that, because I'm pretty sure you want to say something about that. Yeah, Nier Automata gets a TV show. Yeah, we got a teaser trailer from 30 seconds and we know literally nothing about it. It's just like, lol, we get an anime. Okay. Who's animating it? Not telling. Is there a director? No. We just announced the announcement for this anime. Okay, fine.
I think that's kind of a shame, really, because yeah, Nier Automata was popular.
Yes,
really popular. Would have maybe been useful to kind of make an anime about Nier the original, or even Drakengard, which is tied to it story-wise, which not a lot of people had a chance to play or remember.
I think the problem with that is that the older games, the rights are not Square Enix's, I think.
They were published by Enix. I believe.
Well, they were made by Cavia, and Cavia died.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, they're in the freezer now at the Rodent Expo.
How succinct. And they became, and all the rights have been taken by Acquire, as far as I'm aware. So, I think Square Enix just has the rights to the newer stuff.
Okay, yeah, that might explain it.
I think. I might be entirely wrong here, but I know that only Automata is purely Square's thing.
Okay.
So, the new Replicant, like version 1.2 to whatever the fuck it's called. Mm-hmm. The remake from Replicant.
So yeah, another Square Enix anime project which have historically been.
It depends. I mean, Soul Eater was sponsored by Soul.
Sponsored, but like when I talk about Square Enix anime projects, I mean the Final Fantasy movies.
I actually didn't think Square Enix or the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children was that horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but it's just kind of.
It's very well produced, I think.
Okay, I say that, but I've not played Final Fantasy VII, so what am I to say? And
I haven't watched Final Fantasy Unlimited yet. I know it's trash, and I know its English dub is even worse, so I might have to watch that at some point. So yeah, Hulk hit me with it.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, isn't it? It actually is.
No, Hulk is my favorite, at least one of my favorite manga, and I probably, now that Berserk is currently in turmoil, I'd say it's my favorite fantasy manga. And it has been denied an anime adaptation for a long time. There was actually a poll at one point by the magazine for which license should get anime adaptations, which was won by Mob Psycho 100. But Hulk came in third, and 1, 2, and 4 place all already had anime adaptations.
Yeah.
So it really got kind of boned there. And I kind of lost hope, because it's a small community. Like, the Hulk subreddit is just a few hundred people.
Yeah.
And suddenly, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just want to add, because the time is ripe for it, because we're now at the point where there's like 64 anime every season and every niche is getting something. So Hulk was gonna get something at some point. It had to have.
It's also semi-relevant because the author, whose name eludes me for now, actually has a sort of sequel, spiritual continuation that he's making right now.
Okay.
Which is I believe, set in the Hulk world. I haven't read it yet, but it has the same art style, the same vibe, the same cool character design. So it was really kind of appropriate. But that is now getting a little bit postponed, erratic, because he's going to focus on the Hulk anime.
Yeah, just as a short summary from my side, because I know your attention to this is a bit better. But from what I remember, as a more of a casual fan, because I haven't read all of the manga, I've read, I think, 30 chapters, something along those lines. It's One Punch Man in a fantasy world, and he is ostensibly more. What's the nice word? Socially annoying.
Okay. How to explain this without getting into 7 minutes of lore?
Okay, it's a fantasy world about demons, and this guy wants to be the Demon King, but he's actually a hero.
Yeah, it's a very Disgaea-like world. It has humans on one side and devils on one side. There's a whole bunch of kingdoms, but that is detailed lore that doesn't matter. The demons all have various kings to reign over various areas, and one of them was killed. And when one is killed by a human hero, they start a contest, a tournament to decide
arc.
Who will replace them. So it starts off in this tournament arc, where all these demons are competing, and suddenly the human hero, who killed the demon lord, just kind of wanders in like, I'm participating. I want to be the Demon King.
Yeah,
I want to be a Demon King.
And just to add, he's the most flat-faced, nice dude that you can ever see. He's like golden retriever energy.
Yeah. Like, everybody's outraged at first, but he is so friendly, so easygoing, so likable that the whole bunch of demons start just kind of liking him and enjoy their competition with him.
Yeah.
And at that point, they introduce Red Vemirio, who is a rank above King, an actual council of demons, and she shows up there is like, what the fuck are you all doing? Why are you friendly with this guy?
Yeah.
And she starts trying to kind of oust him from the competition, and just sets in motion a lot of the conflicts for the rest of the series.
I was about to say, let's dial this in real quick.
Yeah.
She's a tsundere. You can argue this for minutes, but the literal...
I actually won't argue that. She hates him because he's the enemy of her people, but she has to kind of also has that tsundere arc in there. Yeah, that's definitely viable. But that whole competition kicks off a series of larger conflicts, threat of a renewed war against humans, an all-encompassing new threat.
Yeah.
It has a lot of fantasy storylines in there. It's 13 volumes, I believe. So it's a very beefy story. It has a lot to it, and yeah, I hope the anime adaptation is gonna do that justice.
Fair enough.
As for the other announcements, Classroom of the Elite, Spice and Wolf, and Tokyo Mew Mew, is there anything you want to add to those?
Well, just that Classroom of the Elite came out of fucking nowhere for me.
It was kind of popular, wasn't it?
Was it though?
I don't know. I watched Kakegurui with the group watch, and we dropped it, and it was like, well, this certainly wasn't better than Classroom of the Elite.
I mean, I guess Classroom of the Elite is based on a light novel, and just very short. It's about this dude that's going to an elite school, but everybody is just kind of, why are you here? You're not an elite. But his strength lies in just how much mind games he plays on people, and he just tries to be the most middling student in this elite class as possible. It's actually, from a mind game perspective, it's a pretty fun anime, but I did not expect it. I mean, that's just like saying No Game No Life gets a second season. That's kind of the level of...
Oh, there's a lot of people asking for that, though.
Yeah, but the same was with Classroom of the Elite, and I'm just like, why? Why though? But no, other than that, Tokyo Mew Mew, I haven't followed that any time. I mean, it was on Fox Kids very long ago.
Yeah, it aired in the West as Mew Mew Power.
Yeah, no, it was actually Tokyo Mew Mew, just Tokyo Mew Mew and Fox Kids here.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Very weird.
Okay, interesting.
It also aired for a solid, I think, 2 months before they pulled it.
That seems accurate.
Before they pulled that one.
And Spice Wolf, do you care for that?
I've watched the first season. I tried to watch a bit of that, I just got bored very quickly.
Oh, wait, you mentioned that before, actually.
Yeah. I tried watching it, but I got bored very quickly. I should get back to it. But the problem is, with my attention, I just generally binge stuff. And some anime, you should just not binge. And Spice Wolf is definitely one of them. And if you want the worst anime to binge ever, it's Excel Saga.
Oh, God. Fuck, don't do that.
I've done that. Oh, I was so done by that.
I imagine.
Yeah, no, I have a very bad time of just planning out an anime and just watching a few episodes a day. No. I need to finish it now, else it's never gonna get finished. I have a really bad track record with that. So, yeah, Spice and Wolf is kinda on my shit list because of that. I'm probably going to finish it at some point, but it's going to grind on me.
Yeah. As for Tokyo Mew Mew, the one thing I want to add, I'm very excited for it because I like
environmentalism, of course.
Ah, yes. Look at me.
Oh, sorry, I had to.
Iconic. No, I'm very excited for it because I really like the original series, but the original series had its flaws.
I mean,
I posted this on AnyList as well. Its heart was in the right place. It really wanted to tell a story about environmentalism and protecting the environment because it's about a bunch of magical girls that are infused with the spirits of endangered animals, and they're fighting against a team of villains that is harming animals, turning them into monsters that try to end humanity.
Okay.
So it had at its core this environmentalism message, and it really didn't know how to use that in any capacity. It doesn't really have to focus.
So just kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Probably. I haven't played enough Sonic to say that.
Well, every robot you destroy, an animal hops out because they're kidnapped and used for whatever.
Yeah, it had a very amateurish take on environmentalism, and it came out just after Bush versus Gore.
Yes.
So it was in the spirit of that time. Like, people care about it and are interested in it, but nobody really fully understood it yet.
No.
So I think this is a really appropriate time to try it again, now that we're in the find out phase of fuck about and find out.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope they're gonna do something interesting with that. And one thing that's questionable but maybe interesting is that the voice cast for the characters is all completely new.
Okay.
Like the 5 main girls, all the voice actors have no experiences yet. This is their first role.
Oh my.
And I watched the trailer and it sounds okay. I kind of want to see it more in action before I can judge it. But they also set up, they always do this, but they have a unit set up to do some songs.
Okay. Excuse me.
You're accused.
Moving on then. Kodansha asks Sven to look forward to Atsushi Okubo's next work in final chapter of Fire Force.
Yeah, and according to Okubo, also probably his last work.
Yeah, but as stated in the article, many artists say this and then just go on anyway. Although I have to say, Okubo, by this point, kind of deserves it.
Sorry, I was reminded of what you said on the last podcast about Vegeta. I'll never fight again!
Yeah. Damn it! Exactly that. Exactly fucking that.
Okay, but that was a tantrum. And Okubo, as you say, really kind of deserves I think, a rest, maybe.
I think he's one of the few mangakas that actually put quality works forward for multiple years with a very particular style and a very particular humor and action to it.
Quick catch up for people that aren't familiar with Atsushi Okubo. He grew to fame through Soul Eater, which was adapted in anime between 2009 and 2011, I believe.
2008, 2009, I believe.
Thank you. The manga ran until 2011. Yeah. And then started Fire Force, which is currently very popular now. And Fire Force is now in its final moments for the manga's run. And
I just wanted to add for Fire Force, I still think that it's the most creative manga with the most restrictions to its own powers. Because all powers have to be based around some kind of heat or fire. And they still have the most creative powers around, and then you have like
Is this why Promare is on the
no. It's just because I got that for my birthday, and I really like it. No, I compared it with something. Yeah, My Hero Academia. Mm-hmm. How is Fire Force so restricted in its power and still more creative than My Hero Academia, which literally has the freedom to have any kind of quirk? That's my favorite description of it.
I think that might be because the freedom to make up anything also kind of gives you the incentive to make up anything. Because every time there's like a minor character in Hero Academia that gets used for like 5 seconds, it has to pop up with their power.
Yeah, fair.
So at one point you probably just start to like cut corners there.
Yeah, and I just like Okubo's style with most of his manga have this it's pretty lecherous, let's just say. Mm-hmm. I mean, Blair from Soul Eater, that alone says enough. But he entirely embraced it in Fire Force because I don't know if you have the page open, you can see this girl on the front page spread.
Yeah, I've seen her before.
Yeah, Tamaki. She is prone to having lucky lecture moments.
I can imagine if your standard outfit is...
That's not her standard outfit.
Okay.
She just goes into a battle and for some reason always her clothes fly off. And it sounds pretty bad, but it's hilarious in the moment. I really like Fire Force. I am still planning on reading that. Because I've watched the anime, I really like the anime.
Yeah, I'm interested because, well, first of all, you recommended it.
Yes.
Excessively recommended it. And I'm a fan of Soul Eater, but I have to admit that neither version of Soul Eater is exactly ideal. The anime was famously kind of cut off.
That ending is horrible.
Had to go for an original ending. And the manga is better in terms of storytelling. But the art takes so fucking long before it starts looking anywhere
acceptable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he made one project before Soul Eater, which was very heavily panned and very short.
Yes,
and then Soul Eater was his first like real big story, and you really notice that it has that
growing pains.
Growing pains. Yeah, that's the word.
Words. Moving on to one that I don't understand is in here. Yaoi Battle Kickstarter.
Yeah, which has, unfortunately, met its goal. Are you familiar with Yaoi Battles?
I've read the article, and I'm just like, it's a mid-2000s thing, and everything in the mid-2000s was weird. Because it's kind of normalized at this point to be an anime fan. You can be a normal functioning member of society if you like anime. Yeah. In the mid-2000s, you had to be kind of a weirdo to publicly really like anime, and this is the perfect thing for it, I suppose. Yep. It's a literal paddle that has yaoi written on it so that you can battle people with it. Yeah.
Yeah. The article also links it, but there's a very good video essay on it by Red Bart. Yeah. Which I actually watched before. It's a really interesting watch, but basically, yes. The yaoi paddle wasn't a joke that was taken to a con. At one point, it's literally just a paddle with a word written on it. And it took off very weirdly.
Yeah,
people just started buying them, and then more people saw them and wanted to own them as well. And as you say, mid-2000s, you were... In the anime scene, you were a fucking weird person, probably.
Well, if you were publicly very enthusiastic about anime, you kind of had to be on the scale.
So I don't know if they actually ever existed in Europe to any extent, but in America they became kind of a menace at cons because people would take their paddles with them and just hit people.
Yeah, I should have one here right now with yaoi written on it, and you know damn well why, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah, good point.
He's trying to think he processed it.
Yes. So those are back, and, well, at least a company wants to bring them back, and they have met their Kickstarter goal.
Now let's see if they can actually ship out to any of them. Because that's a famous problem with Kickstarters.
I kind of wonder how many event organizers are seeing this news like, no. Also, have you... They're probably still banned.
Have you looked at Kickstarter? Because I haven't. Because I couldn't be arsed. Do you have any idea of what material this thing is made of? Is it actual wood? Because god damn it, I won't stand to go to a con with someone who has a wood paddle.
Actually, let me check that for you.
Yeah, I just thought about it. If it's hollow plastic, it's kind of fine. You can just bop someone on the head, then it's not that bad. But
oh
no,
this is interesting.
Oh no,
The Kickstarter has been put into dispute.
life developments, people.
Ooh. Yeah, it's probably not too happy that they're effectively selling a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not even in a weapon, but just the intent of a weapon. Because people are using this to paddle the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
so
that's why at some point they faded from the scene, because people just got hurt.
Yeah, and some people don't stand for getting paddled and you get a fist to the face.
Yeah, especially now that anime is more broad and you actually have people like you and me walking around the cons, and if somebody hits you with a stick...
You can be damn sure they go to an infirmary after that.
Yeah, and if somebody hits me with a stick, I'm gonna get my Pettry, and
Then
he's gonna put him in the infirmary.
Just violence with extra steps.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope it doesn't get through, because this sounds like an absolute menace and I'm not ready for it. But moving on then to...
this is yours.
Crunchyroll reveals English dubcast and English sub-trailer for Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Yeah.
Which is a prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just about... I'm very bad with names. Let's see. Can I find his name in here?
Because I watched the trailer and I asked you, can I watch the trailer without spoilers? You said yes, and I'm like, okay. I do not have any more knowledge of Jujutsu Kaisen than I had prior to watching this, though.
No, that's... As I said, it's a prequel. And it's not about the character that's the main character in Jujutsu Kaisen itself.
Okay, because it had this guy that's vowing to save a girl.
Yeah, that's... yeah, he is obviously... It gave me Bleach movie flashbacks, as in totally a random character that will probably never come back into the show.
Yeah, he looked very side characterish, kind of like a My Hero Academia movie character.
Yeah, or either a Catalyst character, like he dies and someone vows to something. That's kind of the vibes I get from him. But yeah, it's you get more of... I feel so bad that I don't remember his name. Is it Yuta?
It says Kylie McKee as Yuta Okotsu.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that's the actual dude. The sensei. Sensei with the headband, the eye band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going... This is, I think, sort of a coming of age movie for him, or more of an origin movie for him.
Okay.
Because in the show he is inexplicably fucking strong. And, well, it kind of gets explained, but it's just like he is so much stronger than anything else in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think this is going to try and sort of explain, maybe?
Okay. So that might be interesting for you then.
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch it.
But probably not the best starting point if you're new to Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, definitely not. You should just watch the show, because the show is a goddamn hoot. It's amazingly animated.
Yeah.
As I previously stated on the podcast, Ufotable can take notes on the animation. And it takes a lot for me to say that. As a side note, it will release almost worldwide, and even in Europe in most theaters, actually. Here in the Netherlands, it's actually getting a release too. So I'm trying to see if I can see it in the actual cinema.
That'd be interesting, right?
Yes.
Just checking. Oh, it was made by Mappa.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm probably going to watch it. Only issue being I'm probably going to have to go alone, because I know almost no one who actually watched Jujutsu Kaisen.
Maybe I can fit it in time.
Fair enough. And also I got Roll for Brian. They might want to go to that. No, I
haven't been to a movie premiere in a long time.
Reminds me. No, I really like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I hope the movie is good, but I don't think it's entirely plot relevant. I think it's more of a...
Right?
Yeah, it's more of a Bleach thing. Moving on to Digimon Adventure. Last Evolution Kizuna.
Yeah, what is this?
the Digimon.
Yeah.
It gets the movie has been out for a while, but it gets a cinema release in the UK.
Okay.
That's actually about it.
This is not the movie we watched, right? Because it
Definitely
seemed kind of
not.
similar.
No. This is, I believe, I'm going to get blasted if I get this wrong, and I'm probably going to get it wrong either way. This is either just before Try or a retcon of Digimon Adventure Try. Because all the main characters are older and grown up by this point, so it's something along those lines. I haven't watched it either. I still really get to, or have to get my Digimon back on, but Digimon Try kinda made me fucking mad. So I still haven't picked back up.
Yeah, I can imagine that you've kind of been burnt out on the series after Try.
Yeah, I watched Try and Tamers. That was the last thing I watched, and everybody likes Tamers, and I just fucking hate it. I don't like Tamers. And so I'm just kind of burned out on the show for now. I'm always ready to watch the English dubbed version of the movie, though. That stuff is prime image, very fun.
And then finally, an article that I tried to ignore, in which you have defiantly put back on our schedule.
Fuck yes.
Beyblade gets live-action movie produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Let it rip.
There's literally nothing to add there. There's a live-action movie of Beyblades in production. Why?
I don't know. If
I suspect the Jewish has something to do with it.
If I rummage around in my attic for long enough, I can probably get a few Beyblades together and.
Oh, son of a bitch, do that. I want Beyblades.
Ah, fuck. I am committed to having to rummage around my fucking attic.
I've been looking for Beyblades for a while. Because Beyblades, believe it or not, are still being sold. But it's Burst Beyblades, and I hate the Burst series. Burst Beyblades just kind of poof out of existence when they lose. That's why they're called Burst.
Oh, they like explode, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that looks fun until you have to reassemble the fucking things.
Yeah, and they're actually just very light plastic shit. The old ones, the good ones, the old times, they actually had metal shims in between them for weight and such.
Yeah.
And they were actually fun to use. Then you also have one sick bastard in school that uses fucking nails in them, but whatever. I actually Beybladed. Sounds so cringe. Beybladed a lot when I was young. I really like to do that with a friend. So I literally had the heaviest, smallest fucking top I could make. So I'm not enthusiastic for this at all, but it's just a meme factor.
I understand why you wouldn't be excited.
The meme factor alone is worth putting it on the list.
I get it.
Just as a background, Bruckheimer is known for Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure, and Top Gun, which is a weird list of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because one is a Disney action pirate thing, the other is a comedy, a bad comedy. And the other one is a very old 80s movie where Tom Cruise got famous for.
Yeah, I remember Top Gun from the NES game.
Oh god, you watched AVGN.
Yep.
Up, die. Okay, so that was the news block.
It was. We have been newsed. I cannot get this to corporate. There we go.
There we go.
I'm not old. I know how to tablet.
I know how iOS works, I swear.
I swear.
Oh wait, now I sound old because it's iPad OS.
Oh. Ancient man.
Ancient.
Total
Moving
War.
on to games. No!
Yes, Total
Games!
Total Warhammer 3.
Not just Total Warhammer 3. Games.
It's the only one that matters.
No, it's not. It's actually quite fucking shite.
Let's get to it.
I just want to add, before we get all hyped because of Total Warhammer, this dude didn't want to go for a snack trip because Total Warhammer came out on my birthday. And apparently Total Warhammer is more important than my birthday.
Ah, man, you fucking threw your birthday on another day. You want some more water?
No, please don't hover the water over my very expensive IT equipment. That scares me.
Yes. He's making it sound bad, but he was celebrating his birthday on another day.
Oh yeah, the party itself was on another day.
Yeah. And then on the day itself, somebody else, hey, you want to go to Pettry? And it's like, no.
No. Very well sentenced.
Should have been born on another day, not on the release day for Total Warhammer 3.
Yeah, I was born on the release day of Total Warhammer. Definitely.
That's how I'm gonna remember the 17th of February from here on.
Oh, you absolute bastard.
No, I've been playing it a lot. In just a few days, I put 50 hours into it, which is, for me, that's quite a bunch. And I've finished it 2 times now.
Okay. Yeah, I literally have little to nothing to add because I have a general disdain for anything that's related to Total War.
Well, as is tradition for Creative Assembly, the launch has been kind of messy.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you were there for the Monster Hunter World debacle.
No?
Everyone, the Steam API didn't know what to do with it. So every time you played the game or a friend started, you see that in the corner of your screen, right? It just kept popping up, as in 300 times an hour. Yeah, I had that with you, Rolf, Sven, and a few other people. Oh. I just like, Total Warhammer. At some point, my screen was literally from bottom to top, just announcement, Total Warhammer. So I just set myself to offline, so I didn't have to see it.
Yeah, it's been kind of messy. The game itself is really impressive. It has a very interesting campaign called The Realms of Chaos, which is a story campaign where the world is invaded and you have to complete a series of challenges from the demon gods to get all the resources for a big final battle. Yes. And people were kind of upset about it because it's not a traditional...
Because of course they are.
Because it really challenges you to change up how you would usually play a strategy game. And whenever you get... whenever the world starts being invaded, you have to take your best army out of the fight to go do these challenges while everything else around you burns. It's really tense, and it's interesting, but it's not very good for replay value. And that's kind of my problem right now. I put 50 hours into it, I played through it with 2 different factions, but it's the exact same challenges with the exact same answers every time.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the exact same final battle. So I liked it. And for €60, I got my money's worth there. But from now, I'm just going to kind of wait until they drop the big update to release Immortal Empires with the whole United World map.
Yeah.
And then play. That's probably when the big fun starts. And hopefully by that time, they've done some bug fixing, because there's a lot of bugs right now.
Yeah, on replayability standpoint, fucking guess what I played?
Well,
no, not that.
That's a challenge.
No. The replayability. I did another run of New Vegas. Again.
Always.
I did a min-max run, reached level 50, and everything was a fucking joke at that point because I maxed out my character because I min-maxed the shit out of it. So by level 40, I had maxed my skills out. At this point, you might notice that I have played a modded version of New Vegas because, fun fact, New Vegas still hasn't been patched. If you min-max your skills in the original patch, that's live now, I think. If you reach max skills, you just get stuck on the skill screen because you can't upgrade any skills anymore, but you still have skill points. Because they didn't expect you to min-max that hard.
Okay, that's kind of hilarious, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, I put another 40 hours in that stuff. I'm good at putting 40 hours in New Vegas.
How many hours total do you have in that game now?
Almost 600 now. And that's just the Steam copy.
Yeah.
I had the disc copy back in the day. And then I still have another 500-600 in Fallout 3. So, yay. But in the same vein as New Vegas, because I kind of start New Vegas again because I was playing the Outer Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, Obsidian, without the restraints of Bethesda, still shines, or really shines through with their humor. Just their general humor in the Outer Worlds and the social interactions that you have with many of the characters is just either very nice or very funny. because they go against many RPG tropes, as in you speak to a character and you ask them questions, they literally look at you. You haven't even introduced yourself, motherfucker. Why are you asking me questions? Go away. Fair enough. And they could just cut you off. I kind of like that, and just general character building is very nice in the game. There are just some issues with the Outer Worlds, because there are little to no consequences to how you build your character, because you can just respec at a machine in your ship.
Okay.
So you can just redistribute all points.
Mhm.
And it has a weird max level, 36. 30 before DLC, 36 after the DLC. Just have to say, when you get the DLC, which somewhere in the plot you get these DLC missions, just don't start them. Don't do them, because it kind of ruined the game for me.
Oh, just like
Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Because by the point, because I was fine, I'll do the DLC mission. It seemed like fun. It's a murder mystery. You kind of have to figure it out. Very well done. It was very fun. Problem is, you get XP up the wahoos. By the time I entered the DLC, I was, I think, level 15, maybe.
Okay.
I came out of it level 33. And I wasn't even halfway through the plot by that point.
Oh dear.
And I rushed through the DLC. By that point, you are so easily overleveled in that game. Perhaps it's because I was on easy mode. Okay. I don't know if that does anything to XP. I haven't checked. But if it doesn't, Jesus Christ, there's far too much XP in the game.
Was there a reason you play on easy mode?
Usually it's just not worth the effort for me to go harder than easy, because usually it's just enemies become HP sponges and there's no actual skill involved in being or getting better.
Fair.
You don't get anything for it, and the enemies don't get harder, or they don't get harder, they just get more HP, and that's just an exercise in frustration for me. So generally I just play on most games on easy, unless it's a game that actually does something with the difficulty.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 is a good example. If you play on hard, you get better loot. Then I'm like, fine, I'll play on hard.
Time splitters where the complete missions change.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, probably.
We'll get to that. The Outer Worlds was... it's still a fine game. Very fun. Just the XP distribution, especially on easy, I'm not sure if it's any different on normal or hard. It's kind of horrendous. And at a certain point in the story, I just didn't care anymore for my equipment or whatever, because when you spec out your character, you can just send your companions to battle for you, and you just spam their attacks, and you just hide in a corner, and after 4 minutes, okay, I can go. And that's how I finished the game. But it's very clear they took a lot from the Fallout universe.
I imagine.
Even the ending, as in, you get this ending slideshow of what happened after the player is done with the story. Mm-hmm. That was literally just Fallout.
True.
And the zoom in on faces when you talk to them. It was still a fun game, but it tingled a lot of New Vegas senses.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Okay, I got it for my birthday, actually, last year, so I should probably catch up to that at some point.
Yeah, I really think the writing is stellar. I still think that. It's just the gameplay itself is kind of short and inconsequential.
Funnily enough, I got it from the same person who, in the year prior, gave me Sleeping Dogs. So this is a weird little connection we got going on here.
Yeah. I still think it's very worth playing. Just be cautioned that it's more for the story and the writing than for the actual gameplay, because you can be literally with your face drooling on the keyboard and you could probably still play the game.
Ah, nice. That's my average skill level.
You can drink enough with this. And I really think you like the first companion in the game, because I'm pretty sure Obsidian is pretty well known for this, is that they are very diverse in how they write. Character especially. Mm-hmm. The first companion is very LGBTQ happy. Okay. Let's just say. And it isn't forced at all. It's very cute and wholesome.
Have you actually A bit unrelated, but have you actually noticed that if you look around in Utrecht for restaurants and such, that a lot of them are specifically marked as being LGBT friendly? That makes me question if those that aren't.
I'm getting flashbacks to fucking London, where you had cinemas with autistic-friendly movies. Just to remind people, I was there with 2 other autistic people. And we were just like, oh god, no, we can't go to the movies. There are no autistic-friendly movies.
Oh, no.
Because they had this banner for it, autistic-friendly movies. We've been there a week. There was literally no autistic-friendly movie at any time.
Oh, wait, so not all movies were autistic-friendly? Just the ones specifically on that list?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, it really makes me imagine that I walk into a bar that is not marked as LGBT friendly and just suddenly aggro everybody.
Yaoi battle!
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, I still have some games on my list, so I'll blast through.
Yeah, go on.
I played The Warriors with Rolf. Yeah, it's your very basic beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that basic. It's pretty fun.
I'm trying to remember anything of it, and I can't.
You can't. It's based on a movie from 1979, which is based on a novel from 1967. And it's about gang violence in New York. And you have all these gangs.
So just New York.
Pretty much. And it's about all these gangs, and the build up to the movie. It's kind of a prequel to the movie.
Okay, yeah.
But they really did it nicely, because I've watched the movie with Rolf afterwards. And they did it justice pretty well. And as a beat 'em up, it's actually plays pretty nicely too.
PlayStation 2 movie
yes.
that did honor to the movie.
Yeah.
Game based on a movie that is
yeah, it's a pretty good game actually. It's definitely meant to be played with 2 players. That's far more fun.
Okay.
And it's yeah. Only bad thing I didn't like about it is the completion missions, because we completed the entire game. We did all the bonus missions, but all the bonus missions are in the main mission, so you just have an extra objective, let's just say. But 99% of the time it's just find tags and spray over them. And then you have this mini game where you have to follow the lines, blah, blah, blah. Problem is, these are in the most ostentatious, most secretly placed places throughout the level. So you're just done beating up dudes, and then you're just backtracking through the entire level to find tags to retag them. And you have to find paint too, because paint is not free. So it gets to be a hassle after a while. And there are other side missions, just not a lot. So you're just going back and spraying over things. So after the first 2, we were just like, fuck it, we'll just use a YouTube video as a reference and just go back. The most fun I had in the game actually was one of the mini games where you play a Double Dragon ripoff.
Oh.
Which is just Double Dragon with the characters from the Warriors, which was hilarious because Rolf never played Double Dragon, and I was very aware of Double Dragon. And I'm not sure if you know the twist of Double Dragon.
Yeah.
If you play a co-op. At the end, you have to beat each other up.
Yeah.
And I was sure to have the weapon from the last boss, because that was an insta-gip weapon. If you hit someone with it, they instantly die. And Rolf was very confused, like, wait, we have to fight each other? Dunk! Yeah, I'm the boss. It's my chick. Also, I just want to add that my Dutch pingle sensor is very accurate. Because when we were watching The Warriors, we were both like, she's Dutch. The main chick must be Dutch. Her name is Deborah van Valkenburg. Yeah, that doesn't get much more Dutch than that.
That's on the nose.
I mean, she's born in New York and she's raised in New York, but her name is very Dutch.
I give up.
What were you trying to do?
Edit the Google Sheet. It's literally not letting me touch the Google Sheet. I'm not allowed to touch it.
No, I enjoyed my time with the Warriors. It's just not. It's not the best game, but very well made. It's a Rockstar game, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do I have
usually
any?
Reliable?
Yeah, I just want to add that there are just obnoxiously many gangs in this game, even in the movie.
Okay.
Because I just have a shortened list here. So The Warriors have the following gangs: the Riffs, the Furies, the Turnbull ACs, the Orphans, the Lizzies, the Punks, the Rogues, the Hurricanes, the Saracens, the Jones Street Boys, and that's just the start of it.
Okay, that's a long list then, I take it.
Yeah, and I want to remind you, the movie itself is only 90 minutes, and all these gangs are derived from this 90-minute movie. So that's kind of impressive.
A busy casting list.
Yes. Let's see, did I have anything else written down? Yeah, we didn't see it fit to play on higher difficulties either because, well, it's a beat 'em up. What can you change?
More beat.
More beat. And get beat 'em up. So, yeah, I didn't feel like being frustrated by that, so play that on easy as well. After that, we played Time Splitters 1 and 2.
I love it.
Well, Time Splitters 1, there's literally nothing to say. I have one line describing this entire game. Go to point A, now go back from whence you came.
Yeah.
Vooral the whence part. Get it?
Yes.
Sorry, had to do it.
Just a little bit of context. Time Splitters is one of my favorite video games.
Yeah.
Time Splitters 2 specifically. So I was really hyped when you said that you were playing it.
Yeah,
But Time Splitters 1 is really simplistic take on the formula. It's literally just level, take a thing, go back.
Yeah, so we finished that in 1 hour.
Yeah, there's no storytelling at all in that game.
At all. 2 has slightly more story. There's just... you can still see they have some growing pains with making a campaign.
I don't know. I don't think I agree.
I think I do. Because there's still little variety, and the only mission that really has a variety to the standard formula is the mission that everybody hates. It's fucking Neo Tokyo.
Well, of course, it's still a fucking shooter. You still go through a level and do things.
Yeah,
but
there's
not just go back. It is so much more. There's so much more stuff. You have to figure out little puzzles. You have to deal with challenges.
Do you have puzzles though?
In the lightest sense, you do.
I mean, go to level, find the only puzzle I remember is the fucking minecart sequence. Go to Western level, find your friend, break him out of prison while he was twerking his ass off in jail. Rolf was the second player, of course. Mm-hmm. And get to a minecart which opens up a path to where you need to go to collect the thing you have to collect. And that's about the most puzzly thing I remember from the game.
When I say puzzles, let me clarify. It's more finding, more exploration driven.
Yeah.
You still, for example, in the first level, Siberia, you have to find... you have to go out of your way and explore the level to find the document caches that you need to blow up. You need to find, you need to pay attention to where you see a satellite dish because you need to fuck that up. Once you're inside the facility, it's a little mazy and you have to find valves to turn them off so you don't get killed by gas.
Steam.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't. It was really basic in that regard because yes, it does all that, but it's all kind of on the given path, I think at least.
It is, yeah, but that's what I kind of like about it. It is on the path, so you just have to kind of take your time and explore the path. It's not just open-ended, go fuck yourself and figure it out.
No, but it's still pretty simplistic, and I'm not sure if Future Perfect does... Future Imperfect, whatever it's called, the last game. I'm not sure if they do it better. And let me be clear. 1 is still, or 2 is miles ahead of 1.
Yeah.
It's much better, but I still don't think it's still very arcadey. As in, do thing, get thing, done thing. And still, all of the problem for me, especially, is that all the unlocks are multiplayer based. So if you, there's no reason for me to go back and try anything differently.
I've actually still, I kind of forgot to back that up when I migrated to the new laptop, but I played the multiplayer a lot, even on the emulated.
Problem for me is I generally don't care enough to play, especially shooters, and especially console shooters, to play multiplayer with or against friends. Mm-hmm. So I just play co-op.
Yeah, but you also got highly customizable bots to work with.
I mean, yeah, but then still,
I think that still has a lot of mileage in it.
I mean, yeah, it still has a lot of mileage, but I'd rather just play Unreal Tournament 3 on PC.
Fair. That's fun, yes, but you have so much more game. You have so many game modes with interesting IDs in.
Yeah, but the problem is you really have to go for Time Splitters alone if you want to do that, because you either like GoldenEye, and if you don't like aiming in GoldenEye, you're going to despise Time Splitters.
Yep.
And I fucking hate aiming in GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's a make or break thing then.
Because
I don't mind. I don't mind GoldenEye.
For people that are not in the know, just in short, normally you just aim with the right stick and you stop there. In Time Splitters and GoldenEye by extension, you either have to look around and you auto aim, and if you want to do precision aim, you hold L2 and then you get this cursor.
Yeah.
Problem is, you don't move the stick and go there, or you move the stick and you go there, but if you let the stick go, you go instantly back. So you have to be very precise on how to aim. Problem is, I have a neural defect in most of my body, so my fingers are very insensitive to pressure.
Yeah.
So playing that was an absolute hell for me, because I have to actively hold the controller up to the screen, look at my thumb, and see how I'm aiming, because else I couldn't fucking do it. So yeah, no, that's fucking horrendous for me. So I played most of the game hoping that auto aim would save the day.
Usually it does.
Yeah, usually it does. And most of the game is fine. As I said, it's still miles ahead, but just fuck Neo Tokyo in general.
That's actually the one point where I will completely agree with you, especially in multiplayer. That level was not made for multiplayer.
No, the biggest problem I have, because we used emulator to play it, so we used save states, because we're easy bitches like that. You have this hallway where you follow her where she goes into the compound.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like a 50-50, or that if the other character shows up. Yes or no, because you have this guard that comes through the gate, and sometimes she just checks her and goes back into the compound, but most of the time she just goes out in the hallway, sees us, and locks the gate, and there's no way to not do that. Because the problem is, if she goes, if the guard doesn't comes out, she still locks the gate, so we still can't get in. So that was pretty frustrating. So at some point we've just loaded state, I think, about 50 times until she just finally fucked off back into the compound and we could follow them. Yeah, that was a bit frustrating. But any other mission was fine. Pretty quick to get to. I do have to say, little environmental puzzles that I liked was in the jungle level, where these golems follow you and you have to use the ground switches to lure them into pits. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, you can kill the golems.
That was pretty nice. Yeah, I've little negative to say, just that I can play it at most unlocks that are relevant are just multiplayer based, so I don't have much motivation to really try.
If I can steal this from you for a moment.
Yes.
If you like the PlayStation 2, then Time Splitters 2 is probably one of the most perfect multiplayer games if you just want something to play with friends from time to time, or just against bots, because it has a lot of game modes. It has brilliantly designed maps, it has very creative weapons, lots of customization options, and just a lot of stuff you can unlock. And you can play the story mode. Story mode, easy, normal, or hard, completely changes the objectives, the layout of the levels every time. So it's a lot of replay value there. And then it has the challenge mode and the arcade, which has interesting, fun little challenge missions for you to do, which also just have so much time for you to put into that.
Yeah, just to follow up with that, because, well, it's usually not my forte, because local multiplayer games are not really a thing anymore. But just to add to that, the Warriors also kind of does that. You unlock multiple game modes. You have Capture the Chick, which is just capture the flag with women. Kind of fun, actually. And you unlock or just mini games for multiplayer. So that's so I had to recommend the Warriors 2 if you want a multiplayer experience, but that's more 2-player centric.
Yeah.
The Time Splitters can be played with 4 people. Problem there be that you need a multi-tap if you want 4 people to play.
Yeah.
And
that's true, right?
so you could better play it on GameCube.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I had that and Nightfire are probably two of my favorite multiplayer games that I still like to play because of bots. But I played them both on GameCube for very obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'm more computer centric in that sense because I still like to play Unreal Tournament 4 or Unreal Tournament 2004 and Unreal Tournament 3 for bot games. That's just my go-to. So yeah, do we have anything to follow up with that? Because the other game I have on this list is the challenge game.
Nope. So let's get to that.
Okay. Well, you first, because you asked me specifically to give you this game, and after a few days I heard nothing but complaining about it.
Yeah, I was playing Pathfinder After Righteous, which I wanted to finish before Warhammer 3 came out, because I had a sneaking suspicion that if Warhammer 3 came out, I was never going to finish it. And I played it. I think I put 80 hours into it before Warhammer 3 released.
You poor sucker.
And the more I played it, the less fond of it I became, because it just felt so fucking incredibly repetitive and tedious. Because it replicates the Pathfinder rule set, and there's just so much fucking annoying shit in that game. If you have to travel somewhere like every 5 seconds, like, your guys need to sleep. Please micromanage their night sleep. And then you have to sit through a loading screen, dialogue, loading screen. It's like, okay, you can resume travel. 5 seconds later, your guys need to sleep.
Yeah, that gets very annoying.
Unless you meddle with the settings, there's enemies everywhere that give you permanent level downs, permanent stat reductions. And you can fix that, but that's a limit. You have a limited amount of spell slots. A limited amount of spells that can fix that. It won't tell you which spells fix what.
Can I just interject that this sounds like a game that's horrible on a time limit? As in, you had this idea that you wanted to play this before Total Warhammer, and just this game obviously sets more out to be more like the tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I want to get through this so I can play the game that I want to play. And it just keeps throwing shit at you. No level down, here inconsistent things.
Yeah. You can fix that, but limited amount of spell slots, and if you run out of spell slots, you need to sleep. If you need to sleep, loading screen, dialogue, loading screen.
Oh, I'm getting tired just by listening.
And just, it felt so repetitive, because the levels are massive, there's so much places to visit, so many quests to do, and every single one of them is, you walk into a room, there's demons.
Wow.
Sometimes you walk into a room and there's cultists, but usually the cultists are backed up by demons. You fight the same enemies over and over and over again, everywhere, for hours on end.
But the big question, did you finish it?
No, because what happens is, at one point I was meddling with the settings, the difficulty settings, and I turned something off, which was an entire gameplay feature, because I just got so fucking bothered by it. And then I realized, wait, if you turn that off, there's literally no point to most of the game. Because a lot of the... because you have this whole strategy game layer over it.
Yeah.
If you turn that off, then a whole lot of quests you do, which give you stuff for the strategy section, just have no point.
Fair.
So I wanted to... so I was like, I want to turn it back on. You can't turn it back on. If you turn it off, it's off permanently. And we have all the saves, so every save you had of it has been overwritten.
Oof.
I was like, well, I'm not gonna play another 100 hours of a game that's missing half the game.
Yeah, fair.
So I might eventually revisit it at some point, but for now I have set Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder After Righteous to a new category.
Fuck off.
A new status on my list of games, which is Bleached. which is a category for games where I'd rather pour bleach into my eyes than play more of it.
Ah, that's why you asked that. I remember vividly you asking me out of nowhere, is bleach harmful to my eyes? Sir, yes it is. Well, you set out for me to play Vermintide with you, but that didn't happen, as
No.
As I also righteously called out on in the various podcasts.
Yes, so
I played...
retroactively you have been asked to play Blood Will Tell.
Well, not retroactively. I was in the podcast already like, this is probably not gonna happen. Just give me another game.
Blood Will Tell.
So I did play Vermintide a little bit. I've played one stage, which I learned very quickly that ranged weapons are fucking bullshit.
You played the Wayfinder.
Yeah, the Wayfarer, I think she was called. Whatever, doesn't matter. She uses a bow, but literally the range of the bow is just about 1.5 melee range. So it's not, I see someone in the distance, time to... No. You can just barely shoot farther than your nose. So it's just, for swarms, it's kind of okay, but usually just use your blades. So, yeah, that was a bit annoying. That's the most annoyed I've been with the game. Other than that, it's just Left 4 Dead with slightly more RPG elements. I enjoyed the stage that I played. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it alone further, but yeah, I played Blood Will Tell for the challenge. Mm-hmm. I played it with Robin. I finished it the day after the podcast. We've played for 9 hours. We actually 100%ed the game.
Yeah, because this is a 3D hack and slash based on Dororo.
Yeah, close enough. It's more beat 'em up than hack and slash, but it has some Dark Souls elements to it actually. Because most of the bosses has their own patterns, and you get damaged very quickly, and be very careful with that because it's expensive as shit.
I am always careful.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything, but the problem with the AI is because you can play it co-op, and the other player will be Dororo then. Mm-hmm. The game does not anticipate you playing like that. So
Warriors is recommended for 2 players. This is not.
Well, if you want to cheese the game, it's still very fun. The other player plays Dororo, but all the enemies, except for the most default base enemies, just kind of only target Yakimaru, which is the player 1 character. So the bosses just focus on me while Dororo's punching the shit out of him. And early game, Dororo does a lot more damage than Yakimaru. So I'm just running around like an idiot while Robin was beating the shit out of him.
If it works.
I mean, it worked a little bit too well, because I remember playing this with Rolf and being frustrated by how hard the game was at that time. But now playing it with Robin, it was literally trivial.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. I still enjoyed my time with the game. The game was very fun. I recommend it, because even...
I do not have this game.
Oh, no. You definitely don't have this game. It's about a 600 euros game at this point. Fuck. You better off just pirating it. Oops, didn't say that.
Oh, no.
It has an equip system. You have to find... are you familiar with Dororo?
No. Yeah, I know of its... I know its fame, and that it's a samurai story.
Okay, Hyakimaru has been cursed, and he has lost all his body parts, and everything in his body is artificial. So throughout the game, you are trying to find back all your body parts.
Okay.
And it's actually integrated quite nicely, as in, by the end of the game, you don't have to have all body parts. You can just finish with like half of them by doing only essential bosses. But if you get all body parts that you can get, you unlock the final real boss, the secret boss. Can I just say that I did this the dumbest way possible, so this was the most frustrating fucking fight I've ever done in a game in a long time. Because you have this mechanic of a slice attack, which you hit an enemy with, and then you get button prompts. You have to push them exactly, and then you can finish off.
Okay.
It's not used throughout much of the game. If you use it on an enemy, they usually just drop more if you get a high combo. So you get better drops, which is nice. But the final secret boss requires you to, because you need 48 body parts, to do 48 slices on its quote-unquote woman cocoon.
This sounds fucking tedious.
You only have like 20 seconds, maybe even less. I didn't time it. I must have reloaded 1,000 times just to get this fucking combo in, only to realize that I was being a dum-dum, and you can have a sword to equip that triples the amount of slices you do per button press. So I spend much of, I think, more than an hour to complete this. Well, I could have trivially equipped this sword and just done it within a second or 3. Kind of frustrating, but that's more my own folly. Most of the game was very nicely done. Although I have to say, most of the maps, especially the early maps, are just too big. Because most of the enemies are inconsequential because you only go level up by getting new body parts and such.
Okay, so the more body parts you get, the stronger you are.
Yeah.
Did you go for full completion?
Yes, we
Okay,
actually fully completed the
That's
entire
5
game.
points then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing it in co-op kind of makes it trivial because you can just use your friend as the go damage him. I'll just run around like an idiot. And most bosses have a pattern to find out. I did not play the pussy strategy all game through because that gets boring really fast. You have a lot of combat variety, which I like. You can use cannon, you can use Gatling gun, you have your 2 swords in your arms, but you also have an equipable sword which has more effects.
It sounds really cool because the way you describe it, like it sounds very boss-centric.
Yes,
and you mentioned Dark Soulsy, and that tickles me.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy this game, honestly. So, no, I'll give you an ISO. That ain't leaving my house.
Tarnation.
Tarnation. So yeah, most bosses have you kind of have to figure it out, but at some point you also see that there's some repetition. Some bosses get repeated in different colors or get a different name, do somewhat more damage, but that's later on in the game. Other than that, I really, really enjoyed it. So I finished it in, let's see, I don't know if I already said it, but I think I've beaten it in 9 hours, yes.
Nice.
To be fair, that's probably should take that with a grain of salt because I played it on the emulator, so I use save states for my convenience.
Yeah.
So if
I
you
would probably do the same.
Yeah, so if you're playing this on actual console,
especially if there's no experience to get from like beating random enemies, I wouldn't be replaying sections Dark Souls style.
No. So I mean, you can level up your sword arms, but that's kind of inconsequential in my opinion.
So that brings us to what we recommend, what we challenge each other to next.
Yes. So I took a page out of your book, and I'll give you a choice.
Ooh.
I'll give you the 2 hands. Either you go pirates, or you're going to relive nightmares.
Pirates.
Black Flag. Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Ooh, interesting.
Because I saw you didn't have Assassin's Creed 1 for some reason, but you had 4 other Assassin's Creeds.
I have Assassin's Creed 1.
Then perhaps you have beaten it then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why it wasn't...
I've beaten AC1 and AC2.
So you can get to 4 now.
All right.
Which is kind of disconnected, which is fine. Also, just for your information, Purgatory or Reliving Hell was Final Fantasy 3. I still want you to finish the fucking game at some point.
Actually, this was not the game I expected you to give me. Because when you said Pirates, I thought it would be that Morrowind Pirates of the Caribbean game.
Oh, you mean Pirates of the Caribbean by Bethesda?
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not that vile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think... Do you own that?
Yes, because you specifically asked me to get it.
Fair. Oh, then you have Xbox version?
Xbox version.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask that of you because you still can't connect your Xbox to your TV.
Oh yeah, you can't emulate that probably.
Not very well, but there's a PC version of the same game. But it's called Sea Dogs. It has this has background.
Okay, yeah.
Which
let's
I'm
not
not
get into that.
Let's not get into
As
that.
for you, ramble a bit because I'm gonna grab it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Rambling. I'm rambling. Well, I'll just say that, oh god, he went under, so it's Xbox. Oh, fuck! Oh, no! This man pulled out Eternal Sonata on me. Yeah, that is Eternal. Fuck!
I wanted to say it, but I wasn't sure on the name, and I couldn't read it from here, so I was like,
I might actually have to ask someone to play this with me, because I know this does go up too. Because I think this is just a Tales of game, but not in the Tales of series.
I remember this game being kind of interesting at the time because it was one of the few big JRPGs available for the Xbox 360.
Yep. I have little to say about that.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I need it. God damn it. There's no PC port of this, is there?
So Discipline. Yes.
We're just going. Okay.
Yes. On to the hentai challenges.
Just as a point, I made a play-by-play for every episode.
Okay, because I'm going to be kind of brief. I actually kind of thought Discipline was pretty good, especially compared to not Black Lagoon, Black Bible Black.
Also has a big titty lady, but she doesn't show him off as often.
No. It's obviously not that fantastic, but in terms of story, it's about this dude who shows up to a dormitory belonging to a school, and he finds out that all the girls, women he lives with, are nymphomaniacs. And then he goes to school, and they finds out that they have this weird elitist club led by a rich girl, which is also just doing weird sex things. But it doesn't have like the dark story. It's actually kind of tongue-in-cheek compared to Bible Black. It has a lot of fucking stupid comedy in it.
Yeah.
And just a lot of bizarre fucking scenes. Like at one point he gets kidnapped by the president of the school, who flies off in a jet, and then has sex with him in the jet, and then just tosses him out naked with a parachute.
Sounds about right.
And he just dangles down back to the dormitory like that. It has stupid shit like that, and the animation is pretty good. Again, compared to Bible Black, it has more solid lighting. Animation is just good. Character design's not that original, but not bad looking.
No, fair.
The characters actually had a bit more
character.
Yeah, personality to them that made the generic design somewhat memorable.
Fair enough.
So I was actually pretty optimistic. It was not the thing I thought I'd watch, by the way, which makes me wonder what I did watch that sounded like Discipline, but I'll figure that out.
Well, you saddled me up with Kuro Galni Nata Karishinju Tushimeta, also known as I turned into a gal and I'll try it out my best friend.
Yeah. Everybody's dream, right?
Oh my god. That's a definite no from me. So I made a sort of play-by-play, as in every episode I just typed down what I kind of felt watching it. I wasn't medicated and I wasn't drunk. Unfortunately.
The worst state of being.
Yeah, let's see. My first statements, it's a hentai. It's gay bait. This dude is too okay with having sex with his friend. As in, at this point, he just realized that he turned into a chick. Also, fuck their voice actor for Shion. And he's just like, you turned into a chick. Yeah, I'm going to fuck you now. You're my pillow. So, yeah, this, as I stated, this dude obviously, furiously wants to be gay.
Yeah, because it starts off right, and it's just these two dudes are just trying to pick up chicks on the beach, and
yeah,
at the moment they get the slightest excuse, they just start doing each other.
Well, more him, her. He doesn't want this shit. Second episode, casual rape is apparently cool. Also, major gay. Because this is the twin penis masturbation scene.
This is certainly big gay.
Yes. Let's see. Episode 3. Subbing is done by a half-aware toddler. Because the subtitling was absolute shite. They were misgendering most characters. She is being very, very good at this. Well, talking about dudes. Doesn't matter. The Gyaru VA is ass. More casual rape. What a time to be alive.
Oh, those are two sentences I don't need it back to back. Casual rape. What a time to be alive.
You made me watch this. For a dude okay with rape, he is awfully bashful. Because after which they're like, he's very bashful, but you just raped him. Whatever. Episode 4, please God, no emotions. I need more alcohol for this shit. Because they try and they just find out they're actually maybe kind of sort of in love with each other. And especially one side more than the other. Thank God it's only 6 minutes per episode.
But we said no homo.
We said no gay. And then episode 4, baby, vengeful chick turned my dude bi. Because the main dude just kind of switches between being a dude and a girl.
Yeah.
And he got turned bi very quickly. Because now he's getting to the point where he's like, maybe penis in my ass isn't so bad. Also, I'll get back to that.
I'm not even gonna comment. You're doing a perfect job of this, actually.
Prostate exam is a bit early this year. Also, he is very certain about his hygiene. Because just casually doing a prostate exam, I wouldn't dare.
And bend over.
Floop! Huh. There's nothing on my finger. How surprising. Let's see. Next episode. Oh no, they're having a fight. Dude is too anxious about his own health. Aka, now Shion really likes to give himself a prostate exam. Doctor gives bad vibes. All the no.
Accurate.
And this is the longest bit. I think that's episode 7. Yeah. Gasp, shock, horror. People have feelings and relations. They're not just fuck pillows. Is what the chick makes Shion realize this. There's literally a point in this episode where he's like, wait, you can have a relation with people which is not purely based around wanting to fuck them? How novel!
How quaint!
How quaint! And then the doctor that gives bad vibes is just like, bye. Last you see of the doctor, he was literally not useful. My next point might be a little bit controversial. Conversion therapy has never been this cheap. Because, Jesus Christ, this anime tries to be gay bait so hard. Begs the question if... Oh, yeah. Here I became existential for no reason. Begs the question, if Shion is fertile when she is a woman, what would happen if she turned back into a guy while she was pregnant?
Have you ever heard of MPreg?
Yes. No. Let's see. Also, ending song is obnoxious the more I hear it. Finally, last episode. Ruined prostrate, asshole destroyed, pussy pounded. My dude had nothing left. His sexual identity is eviscerated. Open ending, no closure, conclusion, big shocker. And that was my take on I turned it to a gal and tried out my best friend.
I'm surprised that you keep saying gay bait, because it literally just has gay sex in it.
Yes, but it's obviously trying to bait you into liking it. Yeah, I was about to say, you can't deny that one. Because I'm, as I might be obviously very much not gay and not interested. And I was just watching this like, oh no. Also, can I say that the title is the most misleading shit ever in English? I turned into a gal and tried out my best friend. No. I turned into a gal and my best friend tried me out.
A lot.
A lot. Because his best friend is obviously more interested in him than other way around. Yeah, so it was a thing.
It was a thing, but I did recommend it specifically because of what you say, that it is gay, but the animation is actually of a quality and a style that's also appealing to straight people, weirdos that they are. It's
Suicide, so meh. It's literally it's kind of like Pogo in that sense. Like they kind of make the same style always. It's kind of shoujo.
Yeah, and I think that's really nice. Actually, it's
not the worst.
Like
but
if you actually watch yaoi, which is this is the last time I enforce yaoi on you. I'm not gonna make you watch.
Yeah, I was severely not entertained by this. I mean, I'll watch it, and it's not the worst thing ever, but I'm just like, I'm watching hentai, I've never been this turned off ever.
On, off.
No, just off.
Off all the time.
Off all the time. There's no on button.
But yeah, I think this is an interesting one if you want to watch a yaoi that actually has the kind of production feel of a normal modern hentai.
Yeah, I can see that. But if you want something from Suicide, I forgot the name. I recommended it to you. You wanted some lighthearted stuff, and there's one of the comedies, Jigankisha, I believe, something in that.
Okay, is that also your challenge now?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not, he says. Okay.
No, I have once again taken a page out of the book. I've given you 2 options.
All right, I just have the one, so I feel like this whole thing has been reversed upon me.
Yes. You can either choose almost hentai or violent demon porn.
Well, that's just obvious, isn't it? Get you the violent demon porn.
Diamond in Asagi.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll do it. I've heard that there's a video game of that, actually.
Yeah, there's not just a video game, an MMO.
Sweet. Interesting.
No, what the fuck?
No, but that just highlights that there's something to it. And I'm gonna find that something out.
My eye twitching is non-voluntary. What are you gonna settle me with?
Well, interesting. I have a demon thing for you too, though not what you might expect. It is called Ikenie. It is
Okay.
Ikenen.
EA.
Yeah, yes.
So, okay.
It's old
Of course it is.
and artsy, but very interesting. And it's short by comparison.
Is this perhaps a leftover hentai that you can give me about 2 weeks back?
Yes.
I fucking knew it! The moment you said old and artsy, the alarm bell started ringing.
Yes, but I want to culturally enhance you. And it's one of the few things where I can be absolutely certain that you haven't seen it.
I mean, you say that, but the Pettry in general is just like, oh shit, I watched this when I was 14.
Yeah.
And just... So there's still a chance I've seen this, but we'll see.
All right. Excellent. Well, then we have one more thing before lunch. And it's a debate that's actually going to be relevant, because after this, we're going to do the Sidecat podcast, and we
Yes.
have an unboxing. But that brings to
Touchy
mind...
topic.
That brings to mind discussion. Physical media versus digital media.
Yeah,
Where do you stand?
I'm very much in the I don't fucking care generally. Because, well, I get the point most people are making for physical, the debate for physical, because if you buy digital, the rights can be revoked and you can lose access to it, and having it physical just doesn't present that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And just having the physical something to own, something tangible to own, is nice for people. I know you're one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem for me is, if I'm not going to use the physical version of that media, it feels wasted to me. Like, I have some anime, DVD and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
But I often, Promare being the exception, actually, because I'm probably never going to watch the disc. But I usually just don't collect them because I'm not going to use the discs, and it just kind of feels phony then to buy it if I'm just going to watch a digital version either way.
I kinda get that. You're gonna watch digital anyway, unless it's something that you can't emulate.
Yeah.
I want to say Switch, but that's already emulated. But
Yep.
PS5, for example.
Yeah, I'm usually just buying it digital because of ease of access.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with newer consoles, I despise buying physical because 99% of the time you just get a disc with a license file on it and you download the rest of the game.
Yeah,
So-
that's actually fucking worthless, yes.
Yes, and that's just general consensus for
that's-
modern games.
That's
And
why I just don't buy a lot of modern games anymore anyway.
yeah, and that's double issue because you still have to have the game in the fucking console while you've downloaded it. So it just feels double annoying because now you can just start another game because you have the disc. You have to have the disc in the console.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that's a modern issue.
For me, physical comes for two things. First of all, it's the collection aspect.
Yeah.
Having your hobby on display. And that's like a very important part of expression for me.
Fair enough.
Second of all, it feels its ownership, really. Because when I just download a bunch of ROMs, when I download a ROM pack that has every NES game in every language ever, I don't feel like I own every NES game.
Oh no, definitely not.
No, it just... And that just kind of feels hollow in its own way. Like, yeah, you can play any NES game at any moment you want, but it doesn't really feel yours in that sense, and that kind of bothers me. Well,
Yeah,
especially because I know I have a lot of things. Why am I not playing the things that I own?
Yeah, for me,
Instead.
it's generally more the experience that counts than towards owning it. So I have to have an experience with an anime, a game.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, for me to really care about that, and that might be a byproduct of depression, because you just generally don't care about things with depression. So that that just turns me off of many things. But having to actually have an experience with something makes me want to own it.
Yeah.
That's more my thing.
Well,
that's why I wanted Promare very badly, because first off, this special edition, it has the soundtrack with it, and I really fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
This is one of the movies that I really fell in love with, because, well, it's just Gurren Lagann light.
I also have a Blu-ray version of it, but just a normal set.
Yeah, this has a souvenir script, aka the entire English script. It has the soundtrack CD, and then I'm really interested, and I have an experience with it, so that's why I want to own it. But with games, for me, especially if it's not PS2, because PS2 is just my thing, I collect that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like NES and such. For me, SNES, because I just can't play NES games. It's more about the experience I have with that game making me want to own it. But I've made pretty hard boundaries for me to collect consoles. Mm-hmm. Because I first started collecting everything.
Yeah,
so for every console.
I remember that era when we first met.
Yeah, and I just don't play SNES. And the cost of owning lots of old Nintendo consoles in particular is so prohibitive that I just made a line for myself that I just buy PS2 games, some PS1, and maybe Game Boy Advance. And even Game Boy Advance, I'm just like, I'm not going to buy them anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, collecting physical for me is a bit of a weird one.
Okay, but to kind of clarify, because I follow the same line of thinking as you do in terms of anime, I watch a lot of anime.
Yeah.
And I don't buy blind anymore. I don't buy these anime and then watch them because then I have ownership. I watch anime, and what I like I buy, but that is because anime is so absurdly expensive.
Yeah, and expansive at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just so much, and you don't have enough information about it if you like it or not. So you first watch it, and then you're like, oh shit, this is nice, I'll buy it. And what, as you said, it's so expensive. Especially in Europe. And God save the Germans. Because German anime is prohibitively expensive for what you get.
80 euros for a 12-episode series.
Yeah,
none of the OVAs included.
And that's one of the better ones, because usually it's 54 euros for one box that's 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Poor Germans.
Poor Germans. Yeah, they want to get their VA money back in one DVD box.
But like when it comes to games, I have so many games just on backlog because of my history.
Yeah.
And you can get games in the bulk very often because people just do away with their old game collections when new consoles come out. Like for the unboxing, we have a box there that's just full of games. And that didn't cost particularly much. Yeah, if you want very specific rare stuff, that starts to cost.
Yeah, that's my issue now with PS2, because the only games I still want are expensive as shit.
But once you start collecting like that and you have a big list of games, I have like 900 games that are still not touched at all. Then it starts to feel very vapid when instead of playing those, I just download a ROM of something I don't own and play that instead.
Yeah.
Like, well, I have all these games that I could be playing instead, and then I'm actually working through the things that I own. And that makes the experience of owning them even better.
Fair. Yeah, for me, I often go digital just because of ease of use.
Mm-hmm.
And certain thing I collect. Metabots is perfect example. I have that special edition of Metabots imported from Japan, and that's just a passion for me.
That's what I mentioned. Being able to express your hobby in a way.
That's what for me, it's not even expressing myself. It's just I really like it. Mm-hmm. I want to have it. I'm more Fafnir type. You're more expressive. For me, I don't care if people see what I really like. I mean, obviously by my house. I wouldn't want... Nah, whatever. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I just really collect what I like. And if it's rare and I can get it cheap, I often jump on a deal. But that's more when I'm actually going out for shopping.
It's easier to do when you're... actually seeing it in person. That makes the market that we used to go to so fucking dangerous.
Yeah. But for Switch, Vita, 3DS, all those, I generally just use digital copies, which is far easier. I just don't like switching out cartridges all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm spastic in that regard, ADD and all that. I can play a game for 5 minutes, just go on to the next one. Very casual, so I played some Smash Bros. And then I'll go back to something else. So it's more of an ease of use thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we're kind of in agreement there for the most part.
When it comes to digital copies, I need to have certainty because I list the games that I own on Steam and GOG because those are two big parties. You can be reasonably sure that those are going to be sticking around.
GOG for certain.
Yeah. And then I don't list the few games that I happen to have on Uplay because when the fuck am I going to use Uplay? I don't even remember my Uplay account.
Exactly. And it's not even called Uplay anymore, by the way.
I'm not going to list the handful of games that I have on my Wii digitally because they closed the Wii virtual store.
And on that note,
gone now.
On that note, they're going to close the Wii U and 3DS store too.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yep. Yeah, on that point, that's why I've hacked those consoles and I just put pirated versions on them, even if I own the game.
Yeah, fuck you. If you're just gonna rescind my access, well, fuck you. I rescind your right to have my money.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they already have your money at that point, so...
It's also kind of why I don't feel much for the rise of things like Game Pass.
Yeah, I can see that. I still enjoy it, but that's more because price-wise they're extremely convenient.
Yeah, for convenience, I'd say absolutely. Other people of course have a right to enjoy games in whatever way they want.
But if you
I don't blame anybody for using Game Pass because that's just convenient for them or that's what's affordable for them.
But if you get any personal, feeling of accomplishment from owning stuff, then Game Pass and Ubisoft Connect and all that.
For me, that's it. The satisfaction of owning objects. The very it's just blatant materialism. Let's be honest there. But the feeling of owning things and having completed those things.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's why I like my Excel sheet and seeing the amount of games beaten rise in comparison to the incomplete games, which isn't happening actually because box.
Yeah, my problem is I want to make such a list, but that's going to be a fucking long list and I don't want to do it. Because PS2 alone is almost 600 games, I think I have. I own like twice that on Steam. Mm-hmm. And then I still have some other miscellaneous consoles. Yeah, I'm just going to blissfully ignore it. And just let you give me games every now and then. And I'll just play some other games in my own time.
Stick your head in the sand.
On that note, I hope this time or before the next podcast, which will be our 1-year anniversary. I hope to have watched more anime and read some more manga than actual games, because I played a lot of games this time.
Yeah, and you get kind of stuck talking about games because there's way more to talk about than the average anime.
Exactly. So on that note, I think that's a wrap-up.
Yeah, well, if you advise me that it's a wrap-up, then that's what it is.
Well, I hope people enjoyed this beautiful podcast. I'll let him do the outro.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us again. I will now be sitting alone with my advisor for a while. I am sure nothing will befall me, nothing nefarious will unfold.
Nothing.
And if nothing nefarious unfolds, then you will see me again in the Side Character podcast right after this. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.